Is now in the history books, and work is well underway for Super Bowl 60 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Most of those preparations are taking place in the Bay Area, but the central San Joaquin Valley is playing a crucial part too, banking on its ability to farm. Just miles south of Livingston, surrounded by almond trees and dairies, you'll find grass. Lots of it.
Just under 600 acres.
To be precise. But these aren't fields that feed the world. These are fields that feed dreams of a Vince Lombardi trophy or even a World Cup.
Even though it's January, we're still thinking ahead all the way through 2026.
Greg Dunn works for West Coast Turf, which has a location in Merced County. The company already growing the fields for Super Bowl 60.
We're growing actually 3 fields. The playing surface field that'll be at Levi Stadium, 2 additional fields. So both the AFC and NFC have fields that are as closely matched the playing surface that they'll be playing on for the 2 weeks of practice. It's a little less than 2 weeks, but the practice prior to the Super Bowl.
Just yards away, the fields for the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup semifinal. Beyond that, the fields for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, both also at Levi Stadium.
Those athletes are super high performance athletes. They want to know they trust their playing surface for foot planting and cutting, that there's not going to be an issue with the turf breaking away. And additionally, they want a turf that's firm and fast, but at the same time, safe. And
forget about the average lawn. This grass has a root zone 1 3/4 inches thick, a standard in some sports already.
So water moves through it quickly, but it holds roots. And you can see on this, it's pretty rigid. And it weighs, when it goes in, it's about 17 to 18 pounds per square foot.
Accomplished by a tried and true process, starting with seeds in nursery fields, later transplanted over a plastic layer, where it's sprinkled with imported sand. And in some cases, a second variety is grown with it too.
We have bluegrass, blue rye, ryegrass, bentgrass, fine fescue, Tahoma 31, Tifway 2, and Santa Ana hybrid Bermuda.
The timeline? About 2 years. Remember, it's grass.
You don't mow the same direction all the time. You can change directions. Grain, upright growth, having it being absolutely perfect.
The plastic makes for easy removal.
You can take it, transplant it, install it, and play on it pretty much immediately.
A far cry from how these fields started as a dairy and later a vineyard.
This farm was chosen for its native soil. The other part that makes this location somewhat unique is the weather. It's good for warm season and it's okay for cool season.
And once the work is done, forget enjoying it.
It's nerve-wracking.
A lot of people aren't looking at what we're looking at.
I don't watch football or venues like the most person does and look at the athletes in the play. I'm looking at the footing. You just hope it's playing well.
Proving there's excitement after all.
Greg and I have already got lists going on to 2030.
In watching the grass grow. Amonte, I did ask whether water is an issue, as it is for so many farms here in the Central Valley, but I was told that the location really does help. It's 2 miles south of the Merced River, and the San Joaquin River actually wraps around it to the south and to the west.
Who knew there was that much detail into growing such high quality grass?
And it was a fun story to do, for sure.